To our fourth bake along with Dr. Utker. I'm Alex.
And I'm Rosie, but you probably know us as the Meringue Girls.
Yeah, so this is a very special Christmas edition. We're going to be showing you how to make our chai-spiced snow scene cake from start to finish. We're going to give you some real good tips and tricks. How to make edible marzipan trees, salted caramel, and the best cream cheese frosting you will ever taste.
Yeah.
And as a bonus, we're also going to be showing you how to make meringue Christmas trees. Now, in the spirit of Christmas, and as a thank you for tuning in, we're going to be giving you away not one, not two, not three, but 4 hampers full of baking goodies and cookbooks throughout the show. So listen in.
Yes, wow. I mean, there really are some amazing prizes. Now, you guys probably know this if you've been watching this series from the beginning, but don't forget to upload a picture of your finished bake to webake.co.uk to be in with a chance of winning your very own KitchenAid mixer.
Great. Okay, Rosie, should we get started?
Well, you know what, Alex, why don't we start with our first giveaway?
Okay, you're in the giving mood. All right, so to win our first hamper full of baking goodies, all you have to do is guess the amount of meringue Christmas trees in this jar.
Yeah. Now, don't worry if you don't win this time, because there's going to be lots of opportunities to win goodies throughout this bake along, so listen up.
Okay.
Now, we're going to start with our chai spice cakes. So I've got my oven preheated to 180 degrees. And we're going to start by just whipping up the batter.
Yeah, so we want this to be a really interactive experience. So ping over any questions. We've got an iPad here. Just send over any comments and questions because we are listening. All right, so as Rose says, I'm going to mix together the oil, the eggs, the milk, and the vanilla extract. So this is all my wet ingredients.
Yep, so we're just whisking that up, and then we're going to add it to our dry ingredients. So it's a really simple batter, literally all the wet together, all the dry together.
So in the dry here, I have got flour, spices, sugar, and the Dr. Utker baking powder, which is the signature product. Really, it's gluten-free, and it gives a perfect rise. And also a pinch of salt. Can't forget the salt.
And a pinch of salt, crucial. Al, someone's just asked us how many bake-alongs we've done with Dr. Utker.
This is number 4.
I know, can you believe it? 4. And you can catch them all on the Dr. Utker Facebook page. They're still up there, so if you miss any and you want to catch up on what we've been doing, you can still watch those.
So I'm just getting rid of all the lumps, because you don't want big lumps of sugar.
Perfect.
And then I'm going to make it well.
Amazing. So here we've got our 3 tins, which we've already pre-lined and greased. Now, it's really important to line and grease your tins just so that none of your sponge mix sticks to the side of the tins and they're going to come out super clean.
Yes.
So just popping in the wet ingredients, amazing. We've also been asked, do we always make themed meringues?
I don't know, I love them.
Not always, but we do.
But
seasonally.
Yeah, for Christmas we've got some really good ones. We've got reindeers, we've got Brussels sprouts, snowmen.
Christmas trees, which we're going to demo later, so keep watching to find out. And and guys, everyone remember to guess how many Christmas trees we've got in this jar, and you could win your very own Christmas hamper. Okay. How's that looking, Alex?
It's looking and smelling lovely.
Amazing.
So I'm going to weigh them. So 380 grams in each of my tins, and then that's just going to give us lovely, even...
Yeah, they'll all bake at the same time, and they'll all come out roughly the same size, which is what we're looking for. Now, in this cake, we're using cinnamon, cloves, ginger, cardamom, and nutmeg. And it's an amazing combination of spices. It makes a really beautiful, rich flavour. But if one of those isn't to your taste, if you don't like cinnamon, then you can totally just omit it and sub it in for your favourite spice. That's absolutely fine.
But it is such a lovely recipe. It's a bit like a carrot cake.
Yeah.
It's just got all those kind of festive flavours that you're looking for.
And with the cream cheese frosting, it's like the perfect combo, isn't it? That's looking good. Great, I'll whack these in the oven. Yeah. And I'm going to put them in all on the same level of the oven. So if you've got room to do that, that's great, because it'll just make sure they're all at the same temperature, roughly.
Yes. Okay.
Amazing.
There we go.
Great. Now, I'm just going to set our timer for 25 minutes, which is how long these cakes take. Yep. It's quite a wet mixture, so you want to make sure it's completely baked. And if you're unsure, just stick a skewer in the middle, and then if it comes out clean, you're golden.
Lovely. So I'm going to move on to the caramel, the salted caramel.
Oh!
Merry Christmas!
Oh, Santa's on its way. All right, that means we've got our first prize winner.
Yes, we have.
Who's won, Rosie?
It's Bob from Rotherham. Congratulations, Bob. You're our first winner.
Hamper full of goodies.
Yeah.
Great. So listen in. That was one of 4 competitions. For the next hamper to win, just listen up. What is Rosie's Christmas bake, her favourite Christmas bake?
Yes, keep listening. Now, we're going to crack on with our salted caramel sauce. So Alex has just got the sugar here on a sort of medium-high heat, and you're just going to let that sit in the pan until it's caramelised to a kind of light brown colour. So keep your eye on it.
Yeah.
And then we'll grab our butter and cream, which we're going to need in a minute. We'll just leave those there.
Yep.
Oh, Alex, while that's heating up, one of our viewers has asked what kind of things you like to bake at Christmas and if you do any edible gifting.
Yeah, I love making edible gifts. Last year I made a delicious raspberry and licorice jam.
I remember that. That was delicious, yeah.
This year I've got my eye on some nice ideas, thinking maybe truffles.
Oh, that sounds
honeycomb
good.
bagged up.
Delicious.
But I will link some recipes below, so have a look in the comments.
Yeah, please do, because I want to do that. I actually every year bake a massive batch of Rocky Road with my sister. It's like an absolute Kellett tradition for us. And we take it to every family, friends gathering and sort of slice it up into cute little squares, shake it with snow, icing sugar, and have these like trees and reindeers that we place all around. It's amazing,
nice tradition. And are they the same figures each year?
Yeah, I mean, they're my mum's from when she was a child. They're like the oldest things. They're like half broken and like rubbish, but they're so amazing, yeah.
Nice.
So that's absolutely my favourite Christmas bake.
Have you got the recipe of that?
We do, yeah. In fact, we'll link it under in the comments, so if you want to make some for yourself, you can. How's the sugar doing?
It's coming slowly but surely. You don't want to go too high, so we'll just let that go and maybe crack on with the cream cheese frosting.
Let's get going with this frosting. Now, this is one of my favourite recipes of all time. It's honestly the best cream cheese frosting I have ever made. I'm going to start with butter and just pop that into the mixer. Now, you want to make sure you start with room temperature butter, just so that it whips up nice and smooth and you don't get any lumps or anything. Just pop all of that in.
Lovely.
Oh, we've had a question here.
And everyone, remember to guess what Rosie's favourite Christmas bake is.
Yes.
She has said.
Keep your ears peeled. Okay. So we're just whipping that up on a sort of medium speed. It doesn't take too long because our butter is at room temperature. All you need is like a quick whip. So that's looking good. I'm going to add in our cream cheese.
It's just so tangy, isn't it? It's better than kind of classic buttercream with
It's perfect. I mean, I've literally made this at dinner parties and stuff for cakes, and friends have just like eaten it out of the bowl. Like they haven't even waited for dessert. Yeah, it's. I'm not lying when I say it's the best. Okay, and then we'll pop that back on until that's nice and combined. Get rid of these.
This is slow but sure. I'm kind of shaking it, not stirring it. I don't want it to crystallise.
Yeah, if you do stir, it can cause crystals, so you just want to keep it going. Just let it do its thing. This is looking good. Wow, it's so speedy.
I'm going to have a look at any comments that you guys are sending over. Could I use dark chocolate instead of white chocolate for the shards? Yes, we're going to go through all the tempering of the chocolate shards next, so we can show you how to do that.
Yep. But yeah, dark chocolate, absolutely. I mean, this isn't an overly sweet cake, I wouldn't say, but it would totally work with dark chocolate. Right, now this is nice and combined. I'm going to start adding my icing sugar. Now you want to do this in about 3 additions, because if you pop it all in together on its own, then you will end up with a massive cloud of icing sugar covering yourself. In fact, I'm going to grab a spoon for that.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah, I mean, I've totally done this before, and I've had like my whole kitchen covered in icing sugar. So, you know, you learn from your mistakes. Pop about a third in.
So we're going to kind of give it a kind of minty green colour, aren't we? The frosting,
yes.
Just to give a kind of snowy forest vibe.
Yeah. And we're also going to add just half a teaspoon of the Dr. Oetker Madagascar vanilla extract.
Yeah.
And that's going to give it a really nice depth of flavour. And it will complement the cream cheese really nicely. Let's get the next one in. Why do you use icing sugar? Someone's just asked us. To be honest, that's just how you make the frosting.
Yeah.
That is what you do, because
it's the finest. You don't want crystal. Like,
exactly, it dissolves really quickly, which is why it's really good for frosting. And yeah, that's why. Okay, let's pop a little bit more in. Can you use vanilla bean instead of extract? Absolutely. Yeah, the only difference is that you're going to have a sort of flecked frosting from the actual vanilla beans, but I really like that actually. I really like the look. And Dr. Oetker also has a vanilla bean paste, so you can totally use that instead.
So this is coming together. Just going to give it a
amazing. Yeah, you want to shake out all those little lumps.
And as soon as that's turned a lovely kind of ambery golden colour, we're going to whack in the butter. So
yeah, you don't want to let it get too dark, do you, Al? Because then you'll have more of a bitter kind of burnt tasting caramel, which is not what we're going
this
for.
salted caramel is going in the layers. So it's going to be cream cheese frosting, salted caramel, pecans in between the 3 layers. And if you have any left over, or it's just a really good recipe, you could even put that into kilner jars and gift it.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I did that one year.
Did
you? Yeah, for the Meringue girls.
Oh.
Yeah. Great. So this is almost all the sugar in. We'll just keep going.
Lovely.
Until we've got it all. It's looking so smooth. God, I want to eat it now.
It's going to bash the last little kind of granules of sugar.
Great.
Give them a...
Pop that in. This cake is smelling incredible already. I can smell those spices. Smells delicious.
Lovely.
Okay, so all my icing sugar is now in. So I'm just going to beat it on a slow speed until it's all incorporated and then whack it up to high to make sure we've got a super smooth, fluffy frosting.
Yeah.
Oh, Rachel has just asked, do you need to sieve your icing sugar first? I'm rubbish at making frosting. Well, I'm sure you're not, Rachel. But yes, I did sieve this icing sugar before I weighed it out, after I weighed it out. And that does just help that your frosting be more smooth and stuff. If you have any lumps, it might not come out when you're whipping. So just whack this up.
So have you added the vanilla yet?
Nope, that's
Yeah,
next.
that's
It's
next.
nearly ready.
Lovely.
I'm going to pop our vanilla in now. And we're just using a little measure here. I'm going to go for 2 teaspoons, but you can use as much or as little as you like. This stuff is super strong in flavour and really rich and delicious, so you don't need more than 2 teaspoons, I would say. That's probably the perfect amount. And then I'm going to add just a couple of drops of food colouring. This is the extra strong food colour gel by Dr. Urtka. And it's really great, super true to colour. You don't need too much. So I'm just going to add 2 drops because we're going for quite a pale green today.
Okay, we are there. All the sugar is looking lovely and golden, and I'm going to add in my butter.
Oh, Karen has asked, can you do a dairy-free cream cheese instead? I've actually never made a dairy-free cream cheese, but I'm sure you can. I think you can do it with cashew. Have you done that before, Alex?
What, cashew frosting?
Yeah.
Yeah, delicious.
I think you soak the cashew nuts in boiling water and then you sort of like drain and pulse and then mix together with icing sugar. So yeah, I think you definitely can. Let us know if you try it. Let us know what happens.
So I'm just incorporating my sugar and my butter without it splattering me. It's super hot. And then when that's in, I'm going to add my double cream in like small additions. It's going to kind of bubble up. So
you want to be careful you don't splash yourself. Great, and you've got the salt already. So this is the key ingredient to your salted caramel. You don't want to be shy with your salt. You want to definitely taste it and get that flavour in. So I've gone for 2 teaspoons here.
There is nothing worse than not a salty enough salted caramel.
Literally nothing worse. And obviously this is far too hot to taste right now. Do not be tempted to stick your finger in. But once it's cooled, you can have a little taste, and if it's not salty enough for you, you can put more in, and then you'll get that lovely crunch in your salted caramel. So do not fear.
So this is going to be great. I'm going to leave it to the side to cool so that it's ready to ice our cakes later.
Amazing. Great, so our frosting's ready. I'm just going to leave it in the bowl until we're ready to ice our cake. So the next thing we're going to be moving on to...
Merry Christmas!
That's our second winner. How exciting.
Who is it, Rosie?
Congratulations, Jules from Norfolk. You are our second winner, and one of these gorgeous hampers will be winging its way to you shortly.
Awesome.
How
Okay.
exciting.
Well, I'm going to line up the third competition then.
Go for it.
So, all you have to do to win the third hamper is correctly tell us which 2 Dr. Urtka ingredients are in these marzipan Christmas trees.
Marzipan Christmas trees,
that was the giveaway.
Little cute. Okay, so we're moving on to our edible decorations, which includes the marzipan Christmas trees and our white chocolate shards. So for that, we're just going to start with 2 bars of the Dr. Urtka white chocolate. And we're going to be chopping it finely.
Chopping it finely, and we just want to chop it finely so that it melts really quickly and evenly.
Yeah.
And we are going to put it in our bain-marie to melt.
Yeah, so a bain-marie is literally just a pan of simmering water with a bowl on top. There's not much more to it than that. So you want to get it to a nice simmer, and then we're going to melt 2/3 of the chocolate in our bain-marie. And after that, fold in the last third.
And that's tempering, isn't it?
That's called tempering, yeah. And the reason we temper chocolate is literally so that it can set at room temperature. You get a nice glossy finish, and it's going to make the perfect shards for your cake. They stand up nice and tall. They don't melt very easily. So it's a really cool trick to learn. And
I sometimes blitz this in a Magic Mix as well.
Yeah, you can totally do that. It'll save you a lot of time, I guess.
Yeah.
Some people are asking if you can do that in the microwave.
Yeah.
And the answer is yes, absolutely. But I would say just do it at sort of 10-second blasts in the microwave. Make sure you stir between each.
Especially with white chocolate, it has a tendency to burn at lower temperature.
It really does. So you just want to be super careful. I say the safest way to do it is with a bain-marie. And I learned recently that that is because water I mean, I already knew this, that water can't boil above 100 degrees. So the reason you do it at bain-marie is because it's temperature controlled.
Right.
So basically it can't get too hot, it won't burn, you just keep it going, and it's really, really good for that, yeah. So once our chocolate is completely melted and tempered, we have our trays ready with silicone mats, and this is just gonna help you get your shards off way easier once they're set. Great. Pop that there.
Yeah.
Lovely. Oh, Charlotte is asking, how do you clean the pan after the caramel? Great question.
Yeah, it's always so tricky. No, but you fill it with water and you boil it over the stove.
Yeah, just literally leave it on the stove simmering, and it will almost just dissolve the sugar and it will boil away, and you don't have to be scrubbing for hours with washing up liquid. It's totally does it itself, which is amazing. I'm just going to grab a little spoon, give this a stir. So I would say you do still want to stir your chocolate while it's melting over the bain-marie, just in case the stuff at the bottom overheats. You don't have to do it too much, but just make sure it's sort of moving around a little. It's looking good.
Okay, so that's our 2/3 in there, and this is going to be the final third to sort of seed the temper.
Yes. Now everyone remember to guess what 2 Dr. Oetker products are in the marzipan Christmas trees, because if you guess correctly, you might well be our 3rd winner.
Below.
Yeah. Okay, looking good.
Yes.
White chocolate is actually one of my favourite chocolates to
I
work with. I know
know.
it's not a popular
I'm a dark chocolate
thing.
girl.
You're like a yeah.
I mean,
kind
for a
of-
snow scene forest cake.
You literally can't get much better. It's ideal. Okay, that's going quite nicely. While that's melting, I'm just going to get our ingredients ready for the marzipan Christmas trees.
Okay, sure.
So I'll pop this here for you. That's your tray, babe.
Thank you.
Okay, so for our Christmas trees, we're going for a bit of a gradient effect with the marzipan.
Ombre of trees.
So I've already coloured 2 balls of marzipan. I've got a kind of darkish green and then a middly green, and I'm now going to make the palest colour. So I'll just grab all my tings. Cool. So this is super easy to do. It's kind of like colouring fondant, if you've ever done that before. But I would say you want to make sure you pop on some silicone
you don't
gloves.
want to look like the Grinch.
You do not want Grinch hands, and you will have them. So just make sure you're prepared. And then I'm just going to take a small amount of the Dr. Oetker marzipan and warm it up in my hands, because you want to make sure it's nice and pliable before you colour. So this is what we're going for. We're making little trees, and these ones are already ready to roll. Okay. So yeah, just warm it up in your hands, get it nice and pliable. How's that looking? Ooh,
Looking
nearly
good.
there.
Yeah, I'm going to add in my last third.
Amazing. Fab. Turn that off. Okay, this is looking ready for my colour.
Okay, show me what you do.
Okay, well I'm just literally warming it up with my hands, and then I'm going to pop. You can kind of flatten it into a disc, and this will make the colouring a little easier so that you don't drip it all over the place.
Yeah.
But again, we're using the extra strong food colour gels, and you just need a couple of drops for this palest green. I'm not going to go too harsh because we've got some other nice colours here.
Yeah.
Chocolate's looking good.
Yes, this is looking good. I'm just going to stir to get those final seeded lumps out.
Yeah, you want to make sure it's super smooth before you start working with it. And what that does is literally bring the temperature of the chocolate down. Right?
Yes.
When you put the cold, hard chocolate into your melted chocolate, it's just going to
Yes.
bring it down so that it sets really easily.
And so that means we're going to be able to set these at room temperature instead of putting them in the fridge.
Exactly. And it'll be way quicker as well.
Okay, great. This is nice and melted. So I'm going to show you how to make the feathered brushstroke effect for our snowscape shards. So I'm going to take a spoonful of the melted white chocolate and just pop it on my silicone mat, and just use the back of the spoon. It's so simple, just to spread it up and to make a lovely shard shape.
Yeah. The only thing to look out for is that you don't make them too thin.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
I could see through the mat there, and that means that they might be a bit brittle when I'm assembling my cake.
Yeah, so you just want to make sure you've got a good thickness. And then we're going to sprinkle these to make them extra festive with the Glamour and Sparkle sprinkles, which I'll get out in a second.
And you've got to remember to do that when it's still tacky, so that they stick, basically.
Yeah, exactly. This is coming together. Now, the colouring of marzipan can take a little while. You just got to keep going with it. Like, mine's looking still quite marbled.
That's
so
quite
I'm
nice,
just
actually.
keep working it. Yeah, it's kind of nice. until you've got a nice, solid, like consistent colour.
Are you a marzipan lover?
I am,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Love it. It's one of my favourite things to eat at Christmas.
Yeah, it's like only this time of year. I'm like,
Yeah, I hardly ever eat marzipan unless it's Christmas,
Love
but
it.
I do love it. It's really, really delicious. Okay, that's looking good. So let me grab the sprinkles for you, Al.
Thank you.
And yeah, as you said, we need to make sure that they're sprinkled on when the chocolate's still slightly wet to make sure that they stick.
Yeah.
There you go, that's ready for you.
Thank you.
Get rid of this hot pan.
Yeah.
Fab. Okay, so the other thing we're going to do for our trees to make them look extra snowy and festive is just add a little bit of food colouring to this bowl of caster sugar and massage it in until all the colour has spread throughout the sugar and you've got a nice...
And we're going to use that to cover our marzipan trees to give a kind of snowy, glittery effect.
Yeah,
and
so
also
cool.
sprinkle a bit on the top just to look like kind of snow has fallen.
Snow is falling
Snow
all
is
around
falling.
us.
Right,
Oh,
yeah,
we've
this
had a
is-
question from Marie. She's asked what the best food colouring for colouring meringue is.
Well, we're going
Good question.
to be showing you our Christmas tree meringues next, and that is using this very same Dr. Utker extra strong gel, which we're
Yeah.
going to paint onto the bag. So
I'd say almost any food colouring is good. Gel, paste, liquid, it's all great.
the thicker the gels are better for painting the bag, though. Aren't
Yeah,
they? Kind of the
definitely.
thicker one sticks to the bag. If you're kind of
And
doing
I found that
our
if you fold the colour into the meringue, then your meringues might crack in the oven.
Yeah.
So it's always better to paint it onto the bag, and then you will hopefully not get any crackage in the oven. This sugar's looking good, so I'm literally just kind of mixing it in with my hands. Yeah. And it's a really beautiful pale colour, which is going to look great.
Lovely. I'm going to just set these somewhere cool, so we're ready to assemble.
Oh, someone's asked if we can flavour the chocolate shards. That's something I've never thought about.
Yeah,
I mean, of
definitely.
course you can, yeah.
As long as you're using kind of an oil-based flavouring, so like an oil-based orange or something like that would be delicious.
Yeah, anything water-based would make the chocolate
Chocolate
separate, which isn't ideal, yeah.
Yeah.
So, now moving on to these trees. So I've got my marzipan here that's nice and coloured, and you just literally mould a cone shape in your hands. I mean, there's several ways to go about it, but you just have to
Am I going to get green fingers?
Potentially, you might want to put a glove on.
Oh, well.
It'll be all right. Yeah, so just kind of go with it and just see what your best technique is. I kind of roll it in my hands and then create a base on a hard surface.
Nice.
But,
And they can all be kind of different heights. It just gives a kind of natural effect, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. So this one's ready, and I'm going to pop a pretzel stick in the base to make our little tree trunk.
Extra salt, yum.
Extra salt, yum, and also you won't use them all, so you can have a little snack while you're baking. Okay.
Okay.
And then you just prop it up in a bowl of sprinkles or rice or whatever you've got lying around just until you're ready to use them.
Lovely. And so this one I'm going to cover in the
sugar, yeah, absolutely. It gets
so
a snowy
you just
tree.
kind of give it a lovely roll, and then you're going to get a snowy effect tree.
Katie has asked us what marzipan tastes of.
It's almonds.
It's
made from
almonds.
ground almonds.
Yeah, it's made from ground almonds, almond paste, and
Icing sugar.
Icing sugar, and it's super almondy. So if you like the flavour of almonds, then this is totally one
I
for
love
you.
anything like frangipan.
Anything. Stollen at Christmas, a fan of that. It's delicious. Nick on Instagram is asking if you want to make birch bark, do you recommend adding dark chocolate streaks when it's wet or after it's set? I would say when it's wet.
Yeah.
So if you've got 2 chocolates that you're making chocolate bark out of, I would get the first chocolate in and then drizzle over the second chocolate and use a cocktail stick to sort of swirl the 2 together to get a nice marbled look. And you want to do that when it's wet, because once it's set, you won't be able to merge the 2 nicely together. Okay, this one's looking good. And we don't need too many trees, do we? That might even be enough for our cake.
I want to do a little mini one.
Okay, do a mini. This one's quite tall.
Oh, you've done one. You've done a mini. There we go.
Okay, cool. There we are. Amazing. So we can just pop all of that.
Merry Christmas!
You know what that means?
That is our third prize winner. So someone has correctly guessed that the 2 Dr. Utker ingredients, which was the marzipan and the food colouring. So
Yeah,
who's
well
won?
done. It was tricky. Winner number 3 is Charlotte from Ludlow. Congratulations, Charlotte. You've got yourself a hamper.
We have one more up for grabs, and it's the easiest one yet. All you need to do is comment and ask questions below, and we'll choose a prize winner at random.
Yeah, it's easy peasy. Just get involved and you might be the lucky winner. Yeah. Okay, so before we move on to the final assembly, we're going to teach you how to make our Christmas meringue trees. So I'm going to pop these to one side for now. And all you need to make these Christmas tree meringues is a batch of meringue. We've got ours ready here. Now, we've demoed meringue in the last 2 Dr. Erica Lives.
Yeah.
And you can watch all of those on the Dr. Erica Facebook page. So
And
if
the
you
YouTube
missed
channel.
it and you need to catch up, just look back and we'll link it in the comments below as well.
Lovely. So we've got the meringue, and we are going to flavour it with a bit of peppermint essence.
Yeah.
Kind of candy cane flavour.
Yeah,
works.
super Christmassy. You hardly need any flavouring in this much meringue, and if you add too much, it will get a little floppy. So just a couple of drops
Lovely.
is absolutely plenty. And it's a nice strong flavour, peppermint. You don't need too much, do you?
No. And to get the green on the ridges, we are going to turn the piping bag inside out and paint the inside with some of the extra strong green food colouring.
Yeah, and before you do that, you want to make sure you pop your gem nozzle in. That is what's going to make the amazing sort of ridged tree.
My hands are all marzipan-y.
All right. Yeah, so we're using a gem nozzle to get nice ridges.
But you can use anything kind of that you've got, a star nozzle, anything like that works really well.
This is a tricky old piping bag to open, not going to lie.
I know, right?
Okay. I mean, what is the technique?
Anyone got any
others
techniques
lying
at home?
around?
Maybe wash your hands?
Yeah, maybe wash your hands. Okay. I'm going to see if we have another piping bag to use, which might be easier.
I think this is a trick. No, it's not happening.
It's not happening. Never fear. We've got another one here.
All right.
Okay, so
You,
we're going
my
to
friend.
pop our nozzle in first off, and then, as Alex said, we're going to paint the colour directly onto the piping bag. So I can hold it for you while you do that.
Yeah.
as well.
So I'm just gonna just make like stripes on the bag, go down. We normally use a paintbrush, but I'm thinking this would actually just work straight from the tube.
Yeah, it's pretty good actually.
Yeah.
So you've already got your stripes
Yeah.
ready made. Amazing.
Okay.
So then, because you've got hold of your nozzle in your hand, you can kind of invert the piping bag and just spoon the meringue directly into the bag. And don't worry about your stripes, they're still going to come out really beautifully on the other side. And it might just be a more sort of organic looking pattern. But you know, Christmas trees are never the same, are they? Every single one's
Exactly.
different.
They've all got characters.
I
of
think
their
that's
own.
enough actually.
Yeah.
I think we're good.
Okay.
Okay. So, I'm just squeezing it to make sure there's no air bubbles left in the bag. And then what you want to do
Get your
is
scissors.
get your scissors.
Chop off the end of the piping bag. So you just want the nozzle to be peeping out. So kind of do it by eye. Just make
Perfect.
sure that you've got all the ridges on show.
Yep. So Louise from Facebook has just asked, what
Yes.
flavours do you recommend when flavouring your meringues?
I mean, we do everything. I mean, we get bespoke requests from, you know, rhubarb and custard to gin and tonic. So
I
you
think the
really
only
can
thing
do
to
anything.
remember is that you don't want to add too much of any flavouring to your meringue because it will just affect the quality and the stability of the meringue. Do you want to actually just crack on the yeah, let's talk
Cool.
about
So
that.
we're going to create a lovely kind of ridged effect so that it's like a Christmas tree. So you do a biggest one at the base, then you go up and do another one, and then up and do another one.
Amazing. Looks so cool.
And I mean, they have all got their unique characters. I quite like a wonky tree.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, so when flavouring your meringues, you
There
just
we
want to
go.
make sure that you don't put anything in that's too oily. So things like nuts, I'd say for sprinkles on top of the meringue, and cocoa powder, again, just shake it on top so that anything going into the meringue, like freeze-dried powders work really well.
These are so festive.
They're amazing.
Yeah, great gift. So we are not going to stop there. We're going to decorate with some lovely bright and bold sprinkles, and that will be like kind of the baubles, rainbow baubles.
Super festive.
And then potentially a little star from the Glamour and Sparkle just on the top.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, they're so easy to make, and these make the best gift.
Yeah.
You can like tie up a couple in a cellophane bag, pop them in a jar like we did. The world is your oyster. Wow, these sprinkles are incredible.
Aren't
Totally
they?
like baubles.
So cute. So these bake at 100 degrees for about 40 minutes. And you know when they're done when they come off the silicone mat or the baking paper with their base intact. So if they need a couple minutes more, just leave them in.
Steph has asked us, how do we stop the cake? Oh, speaking of which, it's ready. I'm going to take it out of the oven. She's asked, how do you stop it from doming too high? Well, we're going to come to that later. So your cakes will dome in the oven, but and there's not a lot of ways you can stop that from happening, really. You want them to rise, but there is a way of keeping them nice and level for when you assemble, which we'll teach you in just a moment, so stay tuned. Okay,
They
these
smell
are looking
really good, yeah.
Just going to pop those off to one side to cool.
And I'm just going to really carefully put a little star on the top, because no treat is complete without a little star topper or angel or something.
Absolutely. Okay, I'm going to turn the oven down to 100 degrees because we want our meringues to bake low and slow. Pop this off. Great, so we're nearly there, Alex. It's nearly time to do our final assembly.
Awesome.
How exciting. They look amazing.
Can't let... All right, we're nearly
So great. Great, so before we do crack on to assembly, we've had another question from Raywin who asks, what's a gem nozzle? Well, it's just a ridge nozzle, so you can use a star nozzle or a gem nozzle, and that's just the name that they'll be called in the shops when you're looking for one.
Yeah.
So we just use a ridged one to get a nice sort of like ridged effect on the meringue, which looks more like a Christmas tree. Okay, I think we're ready to move on to the final assembly for our cake.
So I'm going to bring over some cooled cakes here.
Yep.
And as you can see, they have domed a little bit, and that is just the nature of the beast. So what we're going to do is use a serrated knife or even a cake leveler just to even them out, so we've got lovely, even layers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because you want to have a nice sort of even effect when you slice into the cake. It looks really amazing when you've got those neat, lovely layers.
But these bits are not wasted, are they?
Absolutely not, no. I'd say the best thing to do with these is to save them.
Get a little bowl.
And I made one of these earlier for you, Al, but you can literally save the little bits of cake and crumble them into a jar, add some cream cheese frosting, a couple of berries, and you've got yourself a cute dessert, which is also a great gift. I mean, what could you wish for? It's delicious. Great.
Yeah.
I can hold that for you.
Thanks, darling.
These are looking good. Right, I'm just going to gather the rest of the things that we need for our assembly. So I've got our cooled caramel in a bowl ready to put into our layers.
Wow.
I'm just going to grab the turntable. Now, if you don't have a turntable at home, don't worry. You can totally do it without one. But if you do make lots of cakes, this is an absolutely worthwhile investment because it's just going to help you make a super smooth, professional looking cake. So we've got our green sugar here, some chopped nuts, and our layers of cake. So I'm just going to grab the board that we're going to pop it
Get
all
our
on.
cream cheese frosting ready.
Yep. So I'm using a 6-inch cake board here, 7-inch cake board, so you've got a little bit of room around the cakes, and that'll just be make it way easier to get it onto your cake stand once you're done. So do you want to start filling?
Yeah, go for
Great.
it. Okay, so we're just going to stack them up. I'm going to get my first cake on the base, and then a bit of cream cheese icing.
Lovely.
Use the little one.
Oh, Rachel has asked, oh my days, that's how you make stripes in the piping bag. I've always tried to do it from inside and made such a mess.
Right.
That is the way, yeah.
I know. Once you know, you know.
Once you know, you know, and it's such a cool trick because you can totally have like candy cane striped meringues. They look amazing. Pauline has just asked, have you ever dropped a completed cake?
Not a cake, but like a whole crate of meringues, which just
Yeah,
like
God, we did do
smash.
that once, haven't we? Yeah, I've never dropped a cake.
A few times.
Yeah.
I'm really, really clumsy.
I've been very close to dropping a whole cake, but never quite done it, which is a relief. Oh, and Lissy from Instagram has asked, how long do meringues last?
So we
Great
keep our
question.
meringues for about 2 weeks, and we do that just so they stay really nice and mallowy in the middle. But people keep them longer, but they just dry out a bit. But we like ours like really fresh, don't we?
Yeah, exactly. And I'd just say the best thing is don't put them in the fridge. If you put them in the fridge, they'll disintegrate and get sort of like soft and chalk, and you don't want that. Wow, that caramel looks incredible. So yeah, you're literally just going to swirl it through each layer of the cake.
Yes.
And then when you slice into it, you're going to get the perfect umami bite in your mouth.
And then some pecans just for lovely crunch.
Oh, someone's actually asked if they can use a different nut to pecans. What would you say?
Yes, of course. Walnuts, hazelnuts, macadamias, anything that takes your fancy.
And if you don't like nuts, coconut, dried fruit.
Yeah.
Like you can go wild, use anything. Even fresh fruit would be quite nice, like a sort of fresh zingy bite to go through the richness. So Lucy from Facebook has asked, my little girl has just started wanting to make cakes and biscuits.
Cute.
She's just 3 and likes adding the ingredients in. What recipes would you suggest? Wow. Indy, how old's Indy now?
Indy's 4.
Indy's 4, so you know a lot about this, Al.
I know. She really likes making kind of, iced cookies and sugar cookies, cupcakes. It's all the simple
Doing the
things.
mixing.
Yeah.
I remember loving the mixing as a kid.
I weigh everything out before she gets home from school when we're done baking.
That's
just like
such a good idea.
cut out all the boring,
yeah,
the boring
You
bit.
can get straight to the action.
Exactly.
That's a really, really good tip. Jill has asked, do we have any tips for vegan meringues?
Yes, we've just nailed our recipe. So
it's taken some time, hasn't it?
It has taken some time. It's a really...
Worth it, though.
Yeah, so we're using aquafaba, which is the water from a chickpea, you know, the cooked chickpeas. And that whisks up just like an egg white. So for vegans, it's ideal. And then we're using caster sugar and just adding it just like we would a normal meringue.
Yeah, because we started using icing sugar, didn't we? But we found that caster sugar works better.
Well, we thought icing sugar because it was, you know, finer, but then it was too sweet. So we've managed to get it to work.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
That person's going to get...
That person's getting all the caramel. Greta from Instagram has just asked, what causes meringues to crack? Too much heat, question mark.
So many things.
So many things. I mean, you tell us. We've been trying to work it out for a long time, and I think the closest we've come to getting a solid answer is moisture, humidity. That's can't help. But yeah, it just sometimes it's the time of year. Like they seem to crack more for us in summer than they do in winter, which is weird. But yeah, just keep experimenting, I would say. So our cake is now ready. Pardon me. To be crumb coated, and I'm just pressing down a little bit to make sure it's nice and secure. Now a crumb coat is literally just a coat of frosting, on the outside of your cake. Now if you were making a traditional cake is completely frosted with buttercream, then you do a crumb coat, pop it in the fridge.
It's the dirty layer, it traps in all the crumbs.
Exactly, yeah. So all these crumbs that you can see going onto the cake now are what you would be hiding if you then did a second layer. But luckily for us, we have our chocolate shards which are gonna
hide
sins. All the sins.
So you don't actually have to be that neat.
No, you can literally just do one crumb coat and then you're golden. Yeah. So I'm just taking a little bit of frosting, sort of doing a back and forth action and then turning the turntable to coat completely.
Yeah.
And you want to just keep going until your whole cake is covered in a thin layer of buttercream.
So Fiona from Instagram says, hi Fiona, what's your personal favourite flavour to use for your meringues?
Oh, okay. What about you?
I
know what mine is.
Raspberry.
Yes.
Is it your same? It's just,
raspberry, yeah.
It's just classic, but it's got that kind of sour note, and we use freeze-dried fruits. It just gives it a really nice taste.
I would say that a close second for me is coconut, because I really love the texture of it. And I love coconut flavour anyway. So yeah, coconut or raspberry. But let us know what your favourite flavour is too. I'd love to know. Okay, so this is almost
comment below any questions, any interactions, because we're just going to pick someone at random to win the final hamper.
And you could be our fourth winner. Okay, so this is almost
I'm going to grab
done.
the shards out.
Yes, great idea. So our shards have just been setting up, and they should be pretty much done now. And they're literally going to go straight onto this coating of buttercream. So I'm just whacking on the rest. Don't need to worry about being tidy.
Yeah.
It's all going to be hidden. And then you just want a nice layer on top as well. So you get a lovely bite of buttercream. And we've got our floor for our snow scene.
Yum, yum, yum.
Yum, yum, yum. Looking
So
good.
to do the shards, because we're going to do higher shards at the back and shorter shards at the front, just so you can kind of see into the enchanted forest scene.
Yeah, it almost looks like a mountain range. I think it's so clever.
Yeah.
So we just need our cake stand. Do you want to grab that out?
Sure.
And we'll decorate on the cake stand. This is looking good.
Let me come around here and get rid of some things.
Amazing. Okay, I think we're pretty much there. Great, so I'm going to use our big palette knife and very carefully, let's hope this isn't that moment where we drop a finished cake, and grab this and pop it onto our cake stand. I'm good, I think. I think. Okay.
Good.
Yeah. Yes.
Well done.
Okay, amazing.
What a start.
So now that's on there, we can start decorating with the shards.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So I am going to get some of the taller ones and put it around the back.
Yeah.
and you want the kind of glamour and sparkle looking at you.
Absolutely.
Do you want to carry on with that, Rose? I'm just going to talk through the rosemary bit.
Yes, perfect.
So this is such a cute trick that just using kind of the natural element with everything else, I just think gives it a really lovely edge. So we are basically just getting a lovely bushy bit of rosemary and turning it upside down. So I'm bushing it all up and then getting a nice stalky bit and just turning it into a really cute tree for the forest.
Yeah, so cute, and that's a really nice natural touch as well. I know,
and it's just
adds
really
lots
fragrant.
of texture. Yeah, it's amazing. I really associate rosemary with Christmas, actually.
Do you? And
yeah.
you could sugar it.
You can. You
That
could
would be
candy
lovely.
it, which would be so delicious.
So to do that, you just dip it in boiling water and then dust it with some of your green sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Lovely.
Okay. Do you reckon we could squeeze one more in?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, you do that.
have
You're
a
really
look.
good at this. All
You
right,
have to
and then
kind of
the
layer
final,
them.
I need to grab my Christmas trees. Marzipan. I might put some sugar on more of these, actually, make them look slightly more snowy.
So I really like the
Yum.
kind of layering effect of these, and if you're kind of doing it over one that's not going to stick, you can slide it in, or you can use a bit more buttercream on the back to get it to
exactly.
stick.
Okay, so we're ready to add our trees?
Kind of. I want more shards, but
Okay.
hey, all right.
I mean, always
know.
more white chocolate. Why not? It looks great.
For now, that will do.
Okay, great. So then you can literally just pop all your decorations on top, go wild, decide, you know, whoops, that's sliding out. I'm going to pop a tree here.
Yeah.
And then should we get some rosemary trees
Yes.
going?
So I've got my lovely little stalky one.
And you can kind of build up your forest. So, you know, start with bigger trees, bring the small ones to the front, whatever you feel looks the best.
Yeah.
Oh, we've just had another question from Deborah. Deborah is asking, what's your fave cake topper?
I don't know. So we are topping again with lots of natural things this year, aren't we? So we've got bay,
Freshness.
cranberries, and making lots of kind of wreaths on the top of cakes using lots of natural, fresh
Yeah.
ingredients.
Yeah,
Um,
delicious.
Cake top wise, have you ever bought like a kind of acrylic?
No, I
topper?
haven't actually,
Yeah.
but there are loads of
So
amazing
many
ones
cute
around.
ones.
Yeah, and they are really great for like adding a name or something
Yeah.
like a congratulations or whatever. They're really nice. I'm just going to sprinkle on some of this green sugar to make it slightly more snowy, and you can just literally add it wherever you think it needs a little bit more festive zhuzh. It's looking pretty good.
Maybe
A
one
little
more
bit more around
tree.
the side. Yum! God, I can't wait to taste it.
I know.
I'm hungry now. Okay,
Perfect for a festive gathering.
I think it's ready.
Yeah.
There you have it. Our chai spiced Christmas cake with layers of smooth caramel in the middle and chopped pecan nuts. It's the perfect Christmas cake.
Amazing.
Ho, ho.
Oh, okay.
Merry
So that is
Christmas.
our fourth
That's
and
our
final
fourth winner. Who's it gonna be?
Tell me.
Oh, winner number 4. It's Fiona at Fiona in London _ from Instagram.
Awesome. Well done,
Congratulations,
Fiona.
Fiona. And thank you so much for getting involved.
Yes, and remember, if you want to watch any of the last of the series, just check out the YouTube channel, the Dr. Oetker YouTube channel, and all the recipes are on webake.co.uk.
They are. I think it's time to slice in, Alex.
Oh,
We've
really?
gotta try
Okay,
it. Yeah,
let's
absolutely.
do it. How do you
Okay.
cut this beauty, though?
I want to leave this one because it's just been made. I think we should cut into this
Okay.
one. So I'll pop this guy over here. And then I think we should just go for it. I mean,
Okay.
what do you think here?
Yeah,
Oh,
I can't wait.
looks so good.
You've got some plates, yes.
Super dense, super delicious. Whoa.
That bit's mine.
That's yours. There you go. Okay. It was always so scary taking the first slice out of a cake. You never know.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah, look at those lovely
Those
layers.
layers. Delish. Okay.
Here's a fork.
Give me a bit. Thank you.
Want some of the frosting?
Yeah, I ain't got any.
Oh, yeah.
Yum.
It's so festive.
It's festive, it's delicious, it's beautiful. What more
Well
do you want?
balanced. Delish.
So well balanced.
Good recipe, guys.
Yes, guys, thank you so much for tuning into this series. We've had so much fun
Yeah.
teaching you how to make meringues from scratch, your homemade
Honeycomb.
sprinkles, fresh honeycomb. It's endless.
Remember, if you've baked along or if you're going to do it in the future, submit a picture of your cake and you could win a KitchenAid.
Yes, the winning continues. All right, thanks guys. Merry Christmas and happy baking.
See you soon.